And here we are again. What's going on, guys? It is I, Cooper88, also known as Steve, and I figured I would take a small break since I spent the better part of the morning doing cliff notes and working on a whole bunch of other little writing projects. But I figured I have not opened this yet, but I did get my latest Bento box, guys. We, yeah, January's was the gray area, and I believe February's was amped. Yeah, I think this is amped. Yeah, it says right here, amped. See, I they got so many themes actually like running together at the beginning of this year. So gray area was the last video that you guys saw, which had Superior Iron Man and Lola, XOXO and um, Valiant's Rai, welcome to New Japan. And of course, the next month's theme will be called Powerless, which I'm very interested to see like what books they'll select from that one. Also, guys, they have updated the store. The Button Mashers box for November is in the store, as well as the Throwbacks box, which was in December. So that they've updated the store for those of you that don't want to actually like go out and subscribe to these bento boxes, although it probably would be cool to do so, especially if a friend refers to you, because now what they're doing for Comic Bento, and I find this kind of cool, is that they're going to start doing a credit system, which if you refer a certain number of friends, they'll actually give people credits to put for their renewal. So like basically, say for example, if I referred a couple of people like now, then I get pretty much like a couple of like points or a couple of bucks off my like Powerless, subscription box coming in at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting how Comic Bento's kind of, you know, expanding. Like they're expanding their enterprise. So I like that. I think that that's pretty cool. But anyway, guys, I'm sure you don't want to hear me like do a promotional thing, but I like Comic Bento. I've said this in numerous videos, but I am very true when I say it, guys. I love this subscription service not just because it's a mystery box for comics, but oftentimes it introduces me to a lot of indie titles that I've seen but haven't got the chance to read. And it also gives me a couple of books from different companies. I know a lot of people complain that they've been putting Valiant books a lot in these bento boxes, but I like it because I'm somebody who's getting into Valiant. And oftentimes, even if it's a book that I don't like or like a duplicate or something, I always can like, pass it off to friends. They were actually asking a thing on their Facebook, like what a lot of people that subscribe to the service do with their leftover boxes. How did they repurpose them? And one guy made a little like, kiddie bench for his daughters. Another guy made a custom computer stand for his laptop and stuff. What I do is I repurpose it by making my own mystery box things. I take the bento boxes and any like books that I'm either wanting to pass on or get rid of. I kind of make my own little like fun mystery box, and I do that for more my coworkers than I do like my friends. Like I'm sure I could ship them to my friends, but then in my mind it's kind of one of those, well, if I ship it, then it kind of feels like I'm essentially doing what Comic Bento is doing, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to, even if I'm safe and I'm sending books that aren't like part of their theme, it's one of those like code of conduct things to me, like you just don't do that kind of thing. But luckily, I have a couple of coworkers that are into comics and they're looking to expand their collections or just like check out new books. So that's kind of the thing about Comic Bento that's becoming fun, is the fact that it's now becoming not a global phenomenon. I won't say it that it's that large, but I do like the fact that they're giving something for people that are trying to get into comics, but also something refreshing for people that collect comics, especially graphic novels like myself. But anyway, I'm sure you guys don't want me to babble on. You guys can check all that information on Comic Bento's like Twitter and Facebook page and all that stuff in their website. And like I said, they did update the store. So let's get into Amped. Let's see what they have actually sent this month. If I can. Oh, I only opened one slit. I was like, why is this not opening? I only opened one slit. Hold on. Okay, there's one. I only opened up the centerpiece. I'm like, why does this still feel tight? Okay, there we go. There we go. Now I got it. Whoa. Try to duck down low. I also, by the way, you guys like my Hot Topic like New Adventures Batman T-shirt? I thought this thing was pretty cool when I actually saw it online. I don't know. I thought it was a cool shirt. I like collecting little cartoon shirts. But also, guys, I kind of had to duck low because I kind of got to the point where I just like try to keep the boxes open. If they're already pre-opened and I see like what's in there, or like I did with this, is I kept it shut till I was doing this video and then just carefully on cam try to flip the box tab open. Because obviously you don't want people to like freeze frame it and get like your address or anything like that. And plus, I kind of broke one of my pens, like the ink thing in one of my pens, trying to scribble out my address and stuff. So yeah, it also I kind of damaged one of my bento boxes, and I had to kind of repair it a little bit, shall we say? But anyway, let's get into Amped, and I see the very top. I already see at the very top something that I'm gonna love. Okay, what do we got here? Oh boy. Huh, this might be interesting. Okay, so hang on, I'm opening it, guys. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do something that I haven't done. Oh yes. Sorry, I saw the first book on there and I'm like, yes. Okay, so here's Amped. When you sit down usually on a Sunday morning or read your weekly stack of comics and whatever, you've left a to-read pile. There are two things that absolutely must be in order. First, you need a fresh hot cup of coffee within reach. I can kind of semi-agree with that. And second, the turntable must be powered up and cranking the sounds of whatever hunk of wax you've chosen to feed it. Yeah. Some weeks it's the metal spinnings of Black Sabbath or High on Fire. Other times it's more folksy songs like Frank Turner or William Everett, Whitemore. Musicians from Johnny Cash to Charles Mingus to Gaslight Anthem. Okay, they're naming bands. I don't need bands and musicians I don't even know. This variety selection of music brings us our first book, the anthology of from Image, featuring some of the comics' best-selling created stories based on the music of Scottish indie pop group Belle and Sebastian. It's called. Let me actually grab this because it's right here. It's actually the third book. Ooh, please don't break. I actually want to read this. It's called Put the Book Back on Its Shelf, which it's an anthology book. From Belle and Sebastian. It says, with their infectious brand of Scottish indie pop, Belle and Sebastian have been cult and critical favorites for years. The band's colorful lyrics and gorgeous full-bodied melodies have provided Image Comics with the inspiration for a new kind of comics anthology with the Put the Back on the Shelf. A stellar collection of independent comic creators and cartoonists put their own spin on a cross section of Belle and Sebastian's songs. Okay, already I like this. Crafted stories, inspired by the band's music, drawn from the band's entire catalog. Okay, that's pretty cool. So it's an anthology collection that a lot of indie guys did. I'm hoping that, as I get better with my own writing, I get to be a part of an anthology like this. I'll have to read this later, definitely. Okay, Death Sentence from Titan Comics. Ooh, an indie one. What would you do with superpowers in 6 months to live? Gently put that in there. Okay, come on. Come on. These things are hard to get at. Okay, here we go. Okay, what would you do what would you do with superpowers in 6 months to live? That's the dilemma facing 3 people who contracted the G+ virus, an infectious agent that gives you incredible abilities before killing you. What will a struggling graphic designer, a failing indie guitarist, and roguish media personality do in the time that remains? Fade away or go out in a blaze of glory? So far, keeping with the theme. And of course, Dynamite published a story for Alice Cooper. Let me grab this. Let me grab this. Oh, come on. Come on. Yeah. There we go. From Dynamite Comics, Volume 1, Welcome to My Nightmare. Alice Cooper from Dynamite Comics. Let's see. Rock and roll legend Alice Cooper has never been a stranger to the mystic and the macabre, but while he was a legend in the waking world, few knew his service as the Lord of Nightmares beyond it, where he watched over us while we dreamed and delivered horrors unto the deserving. Okay, so he's like pretty much Neil Gaiman's Sandman mixed with Ghost Rider. Only someone took it all away from him, cast him out of his realm, and locked him away. No longer enslaved to the clan Black, Alice Cooper will reclaim his dark throne at all costs. This hardcover also includes Alice Cooper's first ever comic book appearance from Marvel Premiere number 50, fully remastered. Finally, most remember Marvel's. I'll save this one. Hang on, I have to show. I have to save this one because this is the best for last. Was an introduction that Marvel's Secret Wars event, or more so, one specific event that led in Secret Wars, inspired us to love a new fan favorite character that we all know and love. But in addition to the first appearance of this character, it features a story by My Chemical Romance frontman Gerard Way, I think that's how you pronounce it, who's no stranger to comics. Way has written for Dark Horse, Vertigo, and Marvel, but cut his teeth as an intern at DC under none other than Grant Morrison. In short, the man knows his stuff. And of course, the event in question that they are talking about, I'll put this to the side for a moment because I need to put this back. I need to seriously put this back under, guys. Let me try to remember how I sorted this. Okay. Now, hardcover. There we go. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I got this back in the right order. Okay, yeah. Welcome to Night. Welcome to my nightmare. Put the book back on the shelf. Death sentence. Okay, yep, I got it back right. Most of this time is just me waxing philosophically, but the last book in Amped, and I am so thoroughly excited, is tied into the Spider-Verse. It is the Edge of the Spider-Verse book that introduces Spider-Gwen to us all. Hell yes. And also they got my favorite version of Pete, which is the Noir Universe Pete. So that's 5 different realities, 5 daringly different spiders. A prelude to the biggest Spider-Man event of all, Spider-Man Noir returns as the Peter Parker of the 1930s to find himself facing Mysterio. In another reality, discover the secret of Dr. Aaron Ekman, the Spider-Man. Who are the villainous Red Eye and what I can't pronounce that next one? And can Aaron live through Marlon's arrival? And in a universe where the story takes a horrific turn, a radioactive spider bites a high school nerd who is already something of a monster. Then what or who is the incredible Spider-Man / DR? And finally, the breakout character of the Spider-Verse makes her exciting debut in a world where what if the radioactive spider bit Gwen Stacy? So this is essentially like what they had done like last year or so, which was the introduction to the spider, not only the Spider-Verse, but pretty much like explained a lot of like where the other like spider characters had went for like all these years. Like where a lot of them kind of went, what they were up to the last time that us comic fans like saw them. So I'm not gonna lie, that when I saw the top of that, I'm like, I have to save that for last. And luckily they did mark it for last because let's be honest, it's Spider Gwen, and a lot of people are like, well, why is that such a big deal? It's a big deal because you essentially have a female spider character other than Mayday Parker who actually gets the spotlight and isn't a supporting character or love interest. But I digress, guys. But anyway, that has been the Comic Bento Amped box. Oh, I was hoping that I'd be able to close that all the way. But that has been the Comic Bento Amped box, guys. I hope that you enjoyed that. I know I most certainly did. And I'm looking forward to actually reading through all these once I feel like I've hit my stride for the day as far as writing and all kinds of other things that I got like going on. So we'll see. I mean, I'd probably actually should get back to writing. Also, as I always do in bookmarking these videos, if you guys haven't seen it yet, this was made on March the 2nd at pretty much almost 11:30. I don't know why I feel like giving you guys these timestamps, but I kind of do just in case I upload them later, so that way you know that these are pre-made, that I'm not just releasing them on the day, but that they actually were pre-made, because that's kind of how I do it now. Because the webcam support for YouTube has been taken off, I have to use the camera recording feature on my laptop and pretty much make these videos in advance and then just straight upload them to YouTube. And holy crap, hopefully my address did not get flashed on there. I don't think it did, because all it did was show the UPS like media mail top there. And even then, I think I'll be fine. Because I think it just like showed like Blind Ferret Entertainment, the people that make Comic Bento, like that's all that I really like saw flash across the screen momentarily there. So I'm okay. But anyway, guys, that has been the Amped Comic Book Bento box. I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I'm definitely excited, especially to read the Edge of the Spider-Verse thing, the book. And I still got a couple of others to run through with the Gray Area box. I still need to run through at least like two more of those books to complete that set, and then I'm gonna mark everything else like down. And hopefully I'll get those books that you see right behind me and that little like nerd block, like welcome block thing out of the way, because those are filled with books that I'm not gonna like read anymore. So I'm going to, whoa, holy crap, the sun just like blared right in my camera. So hopefully I'll get that all squared away, guys, and hopefully my coworkers will actually enjoy those books some more. I actually jokingly asked one of my coworkers if he pretty much told me that half of the bento boxes already that I'd given him full of books, he was only like halfway through, and he's like, "Dude, you gave me you gave me like too much." I said, "And I still got 4 boxes to get through," and he's just like, "Why?" It's like it's like, dude, I'm trying to give you the gift of comics, and plus I got a whole crap load of books in like these totes and stuff. I'm not letting every book go, guys, but I'm trying to like spread the love of comics. So it's a give and take thing. But anyway, I seriously need to end this video, get back to work. I probably might actually eat an early lunch or so. But that has been Amped, guys. Look forward to the Powerless box when it comes in later on here in the month, or even the beginning of next month. So with that, guys, I will see you all later, and until next time.